Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 108 of Pucking Around
Did
Podcast.
you say fucking around podcast? Because that's what it sounded like. Just saying.
I wish we were fucking around, but no, we're here to puck around.
I'm here to
We're here to
fuck
puck around, okay? Not fuck around. We take this shit seriously, okay?
seriously, goddammit.
All right, well, here to
Where were
puck
we?
around with me. It's from How Normals. We got Rick Seligman. What's up, Rick?
Not too much. Not too much. My glorious playoff beard. Because we're the only team still in the playoffs of our team.
For now.
For now.
For now.
For now.
Rick. I actually had a little mishap this week. I went to go shave, and as you can tell, like it's a little off.
Yeah, it happens.
I forgot to
Eric, I'll
change
put you on to my barber.
No, I forgot to put the setting on my clipper. And it went zoop. I'm like, what
Oh,
the fuck did I
shit.
just do?
Yeah, I've done that, missed, and took a little bit too much, and you don't really notice it.
Pray
Right.
for my mans.
But I shaved everything else. I had a full beard, and it was just too long, so I left this.
Well,
Still a hockey beard. Still a playoff beard.
yeah, still play up. It's good. It's looking good, Rick. It's looking good.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Somebody finally said that. Thank you.
I don't give a shit.
You're very welcome.
I'm still bitter.
And introducing the guy who does not give a shit, it's my co-host from Flyer Gonna Flyer, Alex Fournette. What's up, Alex?
Listen, I just want to watch some good competitive hockey until we get to the end of the Cup final, and then I want the news to break of all the trades and whatnot that we're going to be scrolling down our phones for because the Flyers need a setter, and then I don't want to hear the bullshit Michkov drama. I'm enjoying these playoffs, but I'm excited for the offseason too. It's a little bit of both because I know the news is going to be dumping soon.
Oh yeah, when that news starts to hit, that's when the fun starts.
And the
We
shorts
say
will be made.
We say it every year, and it gets less and less and less and less. But I think on the trade front, I think on the trade front, you're right. Free agency is going to be like
trade front leading up to the draft usually is a good amount. The draft itself is ass for trades. Yeah. For the most part. Last year it was ass.
Yeah, some years it's not.
We hear all these trades. Oh, so-and-so is going to trade the 3rd overall pick for a big blockbuster. Nothing fun.
Yeah, and that never happens.
Nothing. No one trades a top 5 or even a top 10 pick anymore.
Yeah.
You might get 1 or 2 trades that have nothing to do with the first round or maybe picks for picks. But actual player trades, when was the last time we've seen a player trade in the first round? It's been at least over 3 drafts now, right? We didn't see it last year. We didn't see it in 24.
Kirby Dach? When we got Kirby Dach, that was a player trade.
What was it in the first round?
And we moved, like there were players that were moved.
Was that the Romanov? No, that wasn't the Romanov.
Romanoff to the Islanders. They sent back a draft pick, and then we sent 2 draft picks for Dach. So what?
That
players moved, but you're right. Still actually a draft pick deal.
Point is, it never really happens where you see player trades in the first round.
Hockey trades in general.
Get some excitement. We got Zegras last year on National Flyers Trade Day, June 23rd. Happens every year. Maybe we'll get another one.
But hockey trades happen less and less these days. They just happen.
That I agree.
Yeah, but I think in the next couple of years, I think we're going to see more and more with the cap rising and everything.
That I agree with as well.
Yeah, with everybody signed. Also, with everybody signed, the only way to get anybody good is to trade for them. You're gonna have to.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yes. Yeah, but free agency. Who's the best free agent right now? Alex Tuck.
Can't really get Radish, maybe.
Radish. See how shitty he was in the playoffs, though. Tuck.
Keep Radish away from me.
He didn't get a point, I don't think, against maybe 1 or 2, but that's it against us.
I'd have to do a Google search on that. I don't know.
Yeah, 1 point he had no points against us.
Yeah, he didn't have a good playoff.
And it was late in the series, so
But I find in general, even like the Sabres in general, like they really had like a couple guys going, but that was about it. Like
Yeah.
a lot of guys went really cold for them.
Honestly, Montreal's had probably one of the best teams as far as spreading out the offense, because Tampa was the same thing. It was a few guys, and
it's funny. It's funny with Buffalo with Tuck too. First round, he had 7 points. He didn't get a single one against you guys. That is kind of crazy.
I told you.
He had 7 points in the first round. I didn't think he had even.
He had 7 points against Boston.
Okay.
He fucking bent them over. But then Montreal came along and couldn't do a thing.
Nothing against us.
Wow. Okay.
Am I heard his AAV a little like that? Free agency.
Playoffs can be like that.
Yeah, playoffs are weird like that. You get a certain matchup that just works, and the next round it's like nope. Like
can't do our Russian monster. He had his issues.
Well,
we're 6 minutes in. We still didn't introduce everything, so maybe we should do that.
Hey, we're shooting the shit.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. We got a signing. Talking about things happening, we had a signing today. Malkin re-signs with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Yay! 1 year, $5.5 million. There's also bonuses attached to it. Basically, it could go all the way up to $9 million a year.
Yeah, makes sense.
So with games played, playoffs,
1 year makes sense. Yeah, the 1 year contract, that makes sense. I hadn't heard what the deal was exactly, but hearing 1 year, okay, I get it. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
One thing I'll break
it down quickly.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
It's the actual contract is $2.5 million salary, $3 million signing bonus, $500K in games played bonus, $1 million for making playoffs, $500K per round one. So total could be worth up to $9 million. This is according to Pierre LeBrun.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. That's the kind of contract they should have signed with him, not some stupid thing.
One thing I did hear about this too, if hypothetically Pittsburgh is out of it closer to the deadline by February 1st, despite it being a no movement clause, he could be willing to give 3 teams to the Penguins he would be willing to move to. There's one little extra thing I noticed.
That makes sense. So you know what surprises me about that deal? He signed out with Kyle Dubas.
Dubas has been good lately.
I know, what the hell, Dubas? He signed a normal contract, like one that made sense. What the hell's going on? What the hell?
He had an epiphany when he went to Pittsburgh.
Here comes Toronto corner of every pod. The Toronto corner.
The Toronto corner.
At what point are we going to say the problem is Toronto and not the players or the GMs? At what point?
Here comes our 5-minute Toronto rant.
But seriously, Mitch Marner's fucking leading the playoffs in points.
It's a lot like
for the fucking Conn Smythe.
It's a lot like Montreal, right? You got a stupid media, and the pressure is insane. And Toronto is the same thing. They got a dumb media, and the pressure there is crazy. Everything they do is scrutinized, and it's got to be really horrible to be a player there. It's not as bad here, but there it's really bad from what I understand.
Oh yeah,
because I know even at one point when I think it was when Shanahan was finally fired and everything, and it started coming out that like there was stuff that Dubas wanted to do that Shanahan's like no, we're not doing that. So at what point was he actually handcuffed there? It's like, okay, I think this would be like a smart play. This would be a smart move. And then Shannon's like, no.
And you go, who was the GM then?
So, exactly. So, I know that there's a lot of teams that have the president that has final veto or whatever, but at the same time, you're I guess that's why he got fired too, Shannon. So at the end of the day,
yeah, I mean, obviously they didn't see eye to eye. So why was Dubas there that long then? If you don't really see, and why would Dubas stay why would you stay in a job like that when you're actually not doing anything? Is the guy upstairs that's deciding?
Yeah,
pretty shitty.
I will say this about where Toronto is right now is really it's the Toronto Maple Leafs. Actually, It's not where they are right now. It's more of a comparison. The Toronto Maple Leafs, I think, Rick, you'll actually appreciate this, are the hockey equivalent of the Dallas Cowboys to the NFL. A lot of media hype, hasn't won shit in forever. They're always a team under the microscope. They're one of, if not the most valuable team within their sport. The Toronto Maple Leafs are the Dallas Cowboys of the NHL. It's truly what they are. And it's
one
just
difference.
where it's the Dallas Cowboys, perfect example out of this. Toronto Maple Leafs have never won more than never won 3 playoff series in a single playoffs. They haven't been in the conference finals in how long? It's been.
Oh, have they ever reached the conference final?
Yeah, and I know in '93 they did because
they did. Yeah, you're right. So they've
never
won a conference.
Want to know
final.
when the last time the Dallas Cowboys made it to the NFC Championship? 95.
Yeah, I was gonna say that had to be the 90s because
95.
there is
They
a
had
difference.
the longest drought in the NFC.
They
are the Dallas Cowboys of the NHL.
Okay, but there's a difference. I'm old enough to remember when Dallas was America's team, was considered America's team, right? That's the one thing that Toronto never was. They were never Canada's team. They might think they were, but they never were. And if you want proof of that, look at Montreal. When they're good, every arena they go is jammed with Habs sweaters.
I believe it. All right, that was our 5-minute Leafs roast, everyone.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the topic. I do think that was a good contract for Evgeny Malkin. It's 1 year. Dubas, as I said, has had an epiphany since going to Pittsburgh. I think he's at the point where he knows he's just going to run what he can out of the big 3 in Pittsburgh. Crosby's 38, 39 now. Malkin's already 38, 39. I think Letang's going to be 40 soon. Like, they're on borrowed time. And if you ask me, they're a prime team to regress next year. I know I'm shitting on the Maltese in this year.
We say that every year lately, so I don't know.
Well, this is the first time they made the playoffs in 4 or 5 years?
They missed, I think, 3 in a row.
But each time they were like, it was the last day of the season that they didn't make it. I mean, it was that close, though. So
not last year. Last year they were
like,
okay, you're right. Okay,
they were like 9th or 10th last year.
Yeah, they got Kindle at like 11 or 13 or something.
No, you're right. I forgot about that.
They were 11. I'm sorry. They had 11 and 12, and then they made that trade with us. But point being, Pittsburgh's at the point where they're just running those 3 into the ground and getting whatever last grain of sand they can get out of them. You know what? That's what they're going to do because they know they don't have any blue chip guys. They don't. They're delaying what they can as long as humanly possible. Who's the best prospect? Runner McGorty?
Ben Kindle. It's honestly Ben. He was playing this year.
Ben Kindle?
Yeah, but he's not a prospect then anymore. So I think.
Yeah, it depends how you because
they hit that pick. I'll give them that. They hit that pick. Him and McGorty are their only 2 young guys. But we wouldn't say either of them are blue chippers, right?
But I mean, isn't that was Jim Rutherford?
Maybe Kindle you could maybe talk.
Got rid of it. Like, wasn't it Jim Rutherford's bad deals that got rid of all their draft picks?
No, Ron Hextall ruined them.
Was it Hextall?
Well,
Hextall ruined them.
Wasn't it both then?
It was both.
It was a mix of both. But Hextall set them back so badly. That Chris Letang contract.
He's an asshole. What do you expect? I hate that guy.
I'm gonna defend Hextall a little bit.
No, don't. I hate him. Please don't defend him.
Because, I love Hextall the player. Hextall the GM was atrocious. But
he was terrible here. I'm not saying he was good here. He wasn't good here. But like it's like it's known that like when he took the job in Pittsburgh, that there was one direction set to him, like this is what we're doing, and was going into a rebuild. And then it basically the first year that he had the job, they went complete 180 and we're like, nope, now we have to compete. So yeah, and then like
wait. Wait, I'm thinking I remember that it was his decision to say, "Oh, we're competing."
No,
No,
because
was it?
they changed ownership, and then the new ownership was like, no, we're not rebuilding.
Oh, okay.
We're going to keep competing until Sidney Crosby's here. So then he had to change his plan completely. And to tell you the truth, like the two moves that he actually got knocked the most for is like the what's his face Michael Granlund, when he traded for him at the deadline, which I actually thought was because he didn't give up much for him.
That wasn't even his worst trade. That wasn't even his worst trade, if you want the honest answer. His worst trade was that Jared McCann trade. Remember that? Traded him for a seventh-round pick and a bag of peanuts.
But wasn't there a reason for that?
Teddy
That was an
Beaver
expansion
back.
draft. Because he was going to lose him in the expansion.
Trade.
Yeah, but that was for the expansion draft. No? That was the Seattle year.
No, he traded him to Toronto.
Yeah, he got Teddy Bluger. Isn't that where they got?
Because he wasn't going to be protected. He wasn't going to be protected in the expansion draft. So he traded him because he's like, well, if I'm going to lose him for nothing, I might as well fucking get something for the guy.
I get it. But looking back, you could have got so much better value. I get your argument, but that value was
but also, McCann wasn't the guy that he was yet at that point. Yeah. But and at the same time, like GMs are gonna be like, yeah, you're gonna lose this guy for nothing. So I'm gonna give you like a 5. Like I'm gonna give you like a 6.
I'll give you another one. The Jeff Carter contract. That was
Hextall? Or was that Dubas?
No. He signed Jeff Carter at age 37 to a 2-year, like $6.25 million deal. It was atrocious.
Yeah, it was
atrocious.
I'm just all I'm saying is, if you actually look at what he did in Pittsburgh, a lot of like what happened is just like bad. Like you trade for Michael Granlund, who's a good player, and then it just like it didn't work. And like it's not like he gave up the farm for the guy. Like he didn't. And then like you trade for Rickard Rakell and you extend him, and the guy just couldn't fucking stay healthy. And now look, and like he's one of the most valuable trade assets that Pittsburgh has. Like they're like, yeah, you want Rakell? I want like a first. I want this, and I want that. So it's like
that one was a good move. The Rakell move, I'll give him some credit for.
I just thought like again, I don't want like because I want to be fair with Hextall because even with the Flyers, like I think he gets knocked a little bit too much. Like he wasn't good. I'm saying he wasn't good, but I think he gets a little bit too much. Like he gets shit on a little too much. But anyway, whatever.
How
the Kapanen contract too was atrocious.
But
don't forget that one.
He's Ron Hextall. How could you shit on Ron Hextall too much? I could take a dump on his head every day of the week, and it wouldn't be enough. I hate that guy.
Yeah, well, you hate him for different reasons.
Most hated players.
Well, I hate him from when he was a player. I hated him, man. He was horrible with that stick of his. And I didn't mind Billy Smith because Billy Smith hit you for a reason. Ron Hextall lost his fucking mind, and he'd hit you.
He was a hothead. I can't argue that.
The only good thing about that with Hextall, if he did that, you knew he was off his game. You were winning the game because he was off his game. You could throw him off that way. But then he'd go after guys, hitting them with that stick. I hated Hextall.
I loved Hextall. And I caught him at like the end of his career.
I loved Hextall, the player. I hate Hextall, the GM.
I hate them both.
He wouldn't fire Hextall. Enough said. That made his tenure.
Let's not get started on Hextall. And Hextall. We'll get very confused.
All right. Does anyone else have anything else to add about the Penguins?
I didn't get my say, really, about the contract. Just to say, I agree. Like, you know, a lot of guys that age, a lot of GMs, they'll sign them to 2 or 3 years, right? Mm-hmm. That's kind of what I expect. So you see a 1-year contract for him. That's a smart contract. The money's good. Yeah, it's a smart contract. And I'm saying this about what's his name again?
Malkin.
No, GM can't remember.
Oh, Dubas.
Dubas, and I'm not a Dubas fan, but I mean it's a good contract. I think for any team, a guy that age, that's all they should get a year. And go year by year. You know, they sign these guys to too long, even if it's 2 or 3 years. It's too long. So, yeah, good on them for that.
Yeah, same. Just smart contracts. He had a pretty good year this year, so we'll see.
And there's not enough of those contracts where we go, oh, yeah, that was a smart contract. There's not enough of those where you hear that and you say that about it. More often than not, we're going, what? They signed him to what?
Wait till July 1st.
Yeah, exactly.
It's coming, bro. It's coming.
Yep.
I have a feeling we're going to be doing a lot of that on July 1st.
Yeah,
got
with the money they're getting, with the money on the cap, yeah, there's going to be some GMs that are going to do some stupid shit.
Like, especially with like the lack of players, you're like, oh, okay, man, fuck, I gotta find somebody. Okay, here.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's what you'll see.
Gotta find ways to spend this money.
Yeah, and the floor is going up too, so they're gonna have to hit the floor.
What's the floor going to be at now?
76, something like that. It's in the 70s.
Yeah. Cool. We'll see. Okay, so you guys want to start with Colorado Vegas?
Yeah, because that one's pretty much over. I mean, what time is it now? It might even be over by now.
It hasn't started the game yet.
I thought it started at 8. It did start at 8?
I thought it started at 9 tonight.
Oh, okay. It's possible.
Does it start at 9? I had it right here. 2 seconds.
I'm gonna put it up here too.
Why does it not say the start time? Okay. Yeah, 9 o'clock. Yeah, sorry.
Okay,
9.
so it's about to be over for. I mean, you know what though? I can see Colorado winning tonight.
I think
they stave off elimination. I don't think that team's too proud.
Yeah, series is over, but it might not be over just yet.
Yeah, well,
I don't know what else you want to say. Surprise, we were talking about it before, and we wasted conversation on this. Surprise. I mean, you know what? I'm surprised Colorado this happened, but the Makar injury had a lot to do with it. Plus, they're the President's Trophy winner. This is the President's Trophy jinx. It shouldn't surprise you. In the end, because it happens a lot, right? It happens a lot.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, since in the salary cap era, two Presidents teams have won the cup. If I'm not mistaken, it's 2.
I believe it's 2. I think you're
2013
right.
Blackhawks, and I think the 08 Red Wings is the other.
It's I don't know which ones, but
I know the Blackhawks for sure was one of them. That was the shortened season. That one I remember. That was, in my opinion, in the last 25 years, the best cup winner I've seen.
It doesn't like if you're not one that believes in a jinx like that, right? What else could it be? Because there's clearly something there.
Exhaustion. You put exhaustion and pressure. I think it's a mixture of both. Probably
pressure more than anything, but because it's like it's hard to figure out. It's not like, like 60% of them don't. Then you can say, well, it's, whatever. But when only 2 out of the last, I don't know how many, do it, there's something to it.
Yeah, but I find like hockey though, especially lately, especially in the salary cap era, like it's always been that sport where it's like, what, in the NBA, like if you're the best team, you're probably winning the fucking championship. In baseball, if you're the best team, you're probably winning the fucking World Series. In hockey, it's just never been that way. It's usually never the best team that wins because it's such a grind. It's such a it's matchup based. You're like, fuck, man. You play that one team that just has your number.
It was easier. It was way easier, obviously, when there were a lot less teams, but with 32 teams, especially, it makes it a lot harder. Yeah. And also, right, look what we just said, the Makar injury, right? And who's you don't know that things like that are going to happen, but something like that happens, and that could be it for you for the season, right? Right. So it's a sport where something like that could really throw you off the track, and you're never going to get back on the track, and that's just how it is.
Yeah, and that's another thing also, like health in hockey, man. It's
everything these days.
That's exactly. It's everything. Right. It's everything. So no matter how good of a team you are, like if you're hurt, you're hurt.
If you lose your best players at all, like your top 3, say, players on your team, you lose one of them. Even it's enough to throw you to lose a series.
Makar is clearly he missed the first 2 games, so he's definitely dealing with something serious.
Oh yeah.
Now there was rumblings. There was rumblings that McKinnon might miss Game 4.
Yeah,
I heard that too. They did say he's going to play.
Yeah, but but they're not healthy. They're not 100%.
But no one's 100% at this point.
No, but Makar didn't come back like I'm ready. He came back because he had to.
Yeah, I felt like,
Right?
you're down 2-0. It's like, oh man, he's like, okay, I'm gonna come. I'm gonna play.
You're kind of still down that player. You're still down that guy. He's not that guy anymore at this point, right? So yeah, injuries play a huge role in that.
And
yeah.
you know what? As much as it's hard to acknowledge, you got to give Vegas their flowers. Like they've got so many guys playing on a high level right now. Mitch Marner is my Conn Smythe guy right now. He has been incredible.
Yeah, but it's all countered with Carter Hart being their goalie.
Well, that's the thing. Listen, I'm not saying they're likable. They're the league villain. But even he's, as much as it sucks to say, even he's been good. He's been putting up over 900 save percentages every single game. Mitch Marner, 15 games, 7 goals, 14 assists. Jack Eichel.
Why not just not say it about him? Leave his name out.
Jack, listen, I don't want to say it, but you got to, because it's part of the argument of why they're playing well.
Yeah, it's part of the argument of what's wrong with this fucking league of ours, too.
Oh, see, listen, hockey culture is a completely different argument. You have no argument from me there. There's a lot of things wrong with hockey culture, but that is a discussion for another day.
No,
We're talking about right now where these teams stand in the NHL playoffs. Jack Eichel, the two-way machine. He's been a playmaking machine all series. He's got like 14, 15 assists and dropping dimes left and right to these guys. Dorofeyev, whatever the hell, however you say it.
Yeah,
Dorofeyev. He's going to get paid. This dude's due for a big paycheck. He's got, I think, like 9 or 10 goals. He's been scoring. And we can't underestimate the ballsy move of firing Bruce Cassidy to kick this team in the head. That was ballsy, man. No matter how people want to say it. 8 games left in the season. You're in a playoff spot. And you tell your coach to go fucking pound sand. John Tortorella steps in there 18-4-1 since then. That's incredible, man. Listen, goalie's a shithead. No argument for me there. Shit person. But overall, what Vegas has done since the termination of fucking Cassidy and bringing in Torts, they've turned into a well-oiled machine. And I find it crazy that Elliot Friedman came out saying they're not fully convinced that they're going to re-sign Torts. Like, it's like,
yeah, I find that weird.
That is odd. They're up 3-0 in the West Finals. They're pretty much almost a shoo-in to go to the Cup. He should be locked in to sign with that team. If he doesn't sign there, he's going to sign somewhere. Someone's going to bring him back in. He's earned himself another job, whether it's Vegas or elsewhere.
I thought he wanted to be kicked up to the front office. I
thought when he was here, he did, because he originally stated this was going to be his last job, and under his terms, he was going to integrate into the Flyers front office. But then when he got fired, it kind of was like, I want to do this on my own terms. Wherever I end up, I want to eventually go to that team's front office. That was his plan.
But maybe maybe that was the terms of him taking the reins. Now was he's not re-signing with them.
But then why would Friedman? It's just weird. Why wouldn't you just say that? Like, Torts is more committed to a front office role after this. He's saying this like
a very private guy. Torts is a very private guy. Maybe it's his terms. I don't want it out there. I'll do this, but I'm not signing.
That's fair. Yeah. That you might be right with that. He lives where he lives during the offseason only like a half hour from where I live right now. And Torts is very low key.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't want to live in Vegas, maybe, At his age, maybe he doesn't really want to be a permanent resident there for 2 years.
When I worked for the limo company back in the day, we drove him sometimes. And I'm not going to give out his address because it's, confidential.
Come on, dox the guy. Come on, dox him.
I'm not doing that. I don't want people knocking on my door at 3 in the morning.
No, of course you're not.
If we get to 500 subscribers, Alex will give out Torts' address.
There you go.
There you go. We got to get to 1,000 subs, and then I'll give out his address. No, I'm not doing it.
1,000. Let's go.
Come on and go. Oh, I don't even remember it.
I know the city. I vaguely remember the actual address. I know the complex it's in.
Anyway, we wouldn't do something. I wouldn't let you do something like that anyway.
Point being, I'm not
unless we get 1,000 subscribers.
Oh,
The only
unless
thing I
he
will say
lets
is
you.
he does live in Massachusetts during the off season.
Yeah, so he might not want to be out there the whole time. Like he might not want that.
Part of it. I think he wants, but I do think he wants to keep coaching. Like
Yeah,
whether
and
it's
listen,
Vegas or
the
elsewhere.
job he's doing with Vegas now, that should get him another job.
Oh, he's got to get another job.
Right? So he doesn't have to commit to them and stay there where he doesn't want to live.
You know, if Colorado blows the series and Bednar gets fired, maybe they call Torts up. Why not?
Well, there was a rumor out there that David Carl is actually going to be replacing Bednar whenever Bednar decides to.
I've heard Toronto is throwing the bag at David Carl. Is what I've been hearing.
Who's bag?
If I'm David Carl, I do not go. Like that's the one place I'm like.
I don't either.
I think Toronto.
I heard a rumor they offered David Carl up to as high as $8 million a year. I
You
don't
know
know
what?
how if it's
Sure.
confirmed.
It's a good point because I imagine back in the 80s when they were horrible and Ballard was there, guys didn't want to go there. They had horrible coaches, like the most amateurish, horrible coaches. They were bad. I could see that happening to Toronto again.
Oh, but also just for the situation, I'm like, you're a young coach in the NCAA. You have no NHL experience.
That's not the place to go. You get ruined there.
Exactly.
I agree with that.
Why would you take that as your first job? Like you're under the spotlight, the pressure is going to be on. Like there's some guys I understand. Morons. Like, oh, you live for the pressure. You want that, to succeed.
Morons
to succeed there. Blah, blah, blah. Like no, like. Buddy, do not fucking take that job. Do not take that job.
Now you got to be really like desperate or not too intelligent. Like you're not a really good coach. You're not that smart, and that's what they were getting back in Harold Ballard days. Nobody wanted to go there. Toronto was horrible, and quite frankly, I could see them getting back there somewhat.
I was watching this thing on like Harold Ballard the other day, and it's like was it when I think was it the Beatles? Yeah, like the Beatles were in town or something. They were playing in Toronto. Like he shut off all the water fountains, so he forced the people at the show to buy. So they forced them to buy like concessions.
Yeah, that sounds like Harold Ballard. That does.
I was like, what a dick! He shut off all the fucking water fountains.
If you think you've seen bad owners, you haven't seen Harold Ballard. That guy was horrible.
Well, the things that they were saying in that documentary, I was like, oh my god, like how the fuck?
All right.
Like, he's the reason why Bernie Perron ended up back in Philadelphia. So
right.
Thank you, Harold Ballard.
Well, that's right. Didn't he play in Toronto for a little while, right?
Yeah. Bernie was traded from the Flyers to Toronto. And then there was a contract dispute between Bernie and Ballard.
Yeah.
So Bernie's like, fuck you. I'm going to
I'm going back to
the WH. No, did he go to WHA?
WHA. I think he did.
Yeah.
He went to the
WHA. And he's like, I'm not playing for you guys. I'm not playing for Toronto. So then Toronto and I was pretty much forced to trade him, and they traded him back to the Flyers, and he took off.
Yeah. Great goalie.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great goal. I like Bernie Perron. Even though I hated the Flyers then, but Bernie Perron.
Bernie Perron was one of those guys you could like no matter what.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. One last thing on this Vegas-Colorado series. We talked about Colorado. We talked a bit about Vegas. I'm going to address the elephant in the room about he who should not be named. I know we hate him, but listen. Carter Hart. 15 games played. Won 11 games. 2.3 goals against average, 0.923 save percentage. If Vegas were to win the cup, does he have a Conn Smythe argument?
I stopped doing this if he does.
I think either way Marner gets it, but
I think Marner does get it, but
and it'd be one of those times where I go, thank God for Marner. One of those few times. Thank God for Marner because he'll keep that guy from getting the Conn Smythe.
I think Jack Eichel,
you know what? Even if Hart was the best candidate for it, they're giving it to somebody else. The NHL
just for that.
That's a good point.
You don't want
the media backlash of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure even the voters will be like, I don't think
exactly. So
I don't want to be that guy that votes for him. Yeah.
Yeah. But honestly, he legitimately does have I remember he started the playoffs a little rough, but then I think it was after halfway through the first round, he found his game and just has not looked back.
Wow.
But again, like
Where-
everything personal aside, even like as Flyers fans, like
He
we
was a
knew
good
this
goalie.
kid was gonna be good.
Yeah,
Like
of course.
he's a
He's
good
20
goalie.
This
And he's
is
not that-
bubble Carter Hart all over again.
And he's
This
not
is
that
2019-20 Carter Hart, who was
Yeah.
the best goalie at home in the league that year. He had like a 1.6 goals against average at home that year.
I know,
Then he
was
goes
good.
to the bubble and carries the Flyers.
He was only, and also he was only what, about 2 years removed from playing. He hadn't been away that long. with
Yeah,
it.
it wasn't crazy long.
No,
It's not
two
surprised
seasons.
that he found his game again. I mean, it's not a
Couldn't
surprise.
He was the only player in this Hockey Canada thing that had a realistic chance of reviving his career because everyone else was an irrelevant player anyway.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So-
yeah, no, you're right. I think you're right. He had the
Maybe
most
Dylan
talent.
Dubé had a chance, maybe because he was half decent.
Yeah, that's the other guy that had,
McLeod was a bottom sixer, but he was
Yeah.
by far the worst guy in this whole thing. So
Yeah,
you knew
right.
he was
he
never coming
was
back.
not getting back into the
Oh,
league.
no.
one was touching
No.
that
no
guy.
way.
No,
So
no.
no one
But yeah,
wanted
no,
to
but
do
the rest
that
of the
for a
guys were
bottom
like,
sixer.
nah.
Anyways,
At least
he's a
Hart,
shit
you could
stain
say,
on
oh,
the
he's a
league.
starting goalie. NHL teams are going to look the other way with the horrible hockey culture. But here we are.
He's a shit stain on the league now, but whatever.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
It's what it is.
Anything else anyone else wants to add on this series before we move to Montreal and Carolina?
I didn't see any of it, so I can't really say more than that because I didn't see any of it.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I haven't watched. It's because it's so fucking late.
It's late. I
I've
mean,
watched
yeah.
some of it. And I was shocked to see Colorado blow the game that they did in that third game.
Actually, you know what? The last game 3, I was gonna like tune in at one point, and then like I looked at my phone. I'm like, it's 3-0 Colorado, and I'm like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna go to bed. I'm tired. The next morning, I saw they lost. I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah,
Oh well.
they were done. Put a fork in them. They're done. All right, let's talk about the series that matters.
Oh, here
Which
he
one is that?
goes.
Is there one that matters? No, the Flyers are out. Does anything matter really?
Yeah,
Nah, nothing matters no more.
nothing matters. I don't care. Let's do Cam.
I don't want to
care.
watch it.
I don't care
Nothing
about
else matters.
that. All right, well, you don't want to talk about it?
No, I'm just
No.
kidding.
Not really.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Go for
Lead
it,
the way.
Rick. Lead us off.
no,
Montreal, Carolina.
No, I don't. I'll end up in a rant. You better start off, and I'll just join in. I'll end up ranting.
Lead us in, Eric, and then I'll throw out some of my points that I got.
Yeah, I'll correct you guys. If you're wrong, I'll correct you. How's
Oh,
that?
here he goes.
There you go.
Well, in
Old
this
man
series-
yells at cloud.
Old man, no teeth, yelling at clouds.
In this series, I watched games 1 and 2. I actually missed game 3. But no, like, look, I said before, like, even before the series started, like, Carolina's a machine. Carolina, to me, they're just a machine. They look like they're on a, like, they have a purpose this year. And look, I'm not saying that I think Montreal's been playing bad in this series. I don't think that at all. Like, look, game 1, I thought like the rest that it showed the rest really hurt Carolina.
Yeah.
They looked
12 days
off.
off.
They were not. They weren't cohesive. They weren't like. And Montreal caught them early and caught them fast.
Yep.
You know.
They
So
couldn't recover. Also, they couldn't handle the speed.
I know
They
exactly.
couldn't handle our speed that night.
No, exactly. And I think we had done our last pod after game 1. They hadn't gone to game 2 yet. And that my whole thing was Carolina has to find a way to adjust. They have to find a way to adjust.
And they were going to. It wasn't like they weren't going to.
And game 2, they adjusted. They won it pretty handily. And from what
Did
I
not win it pretty handily. How do you call
not
it?
not pretty handily, but
Come on.
you know.
Were they the better team in the game? Yes.
Yeah.
But we were
In
still
terms of
one
pace
shot
of play,
away.
They were clearly the better team.
We were still one shot away. And then if we were tied with them with only 12 shots on goal, that has to say something about their goaltending.
That says something about how good Dovich has been.
And,
Yeah,
and
Dovich has been
how good Dovich is.
absolutely incredible this series,
Yeah.
these playoffs. So, yeah,
he's the best goalie in the playoffs right now. He is.
but
It's him or the guy in Vegas.
that's left right now. Yeah,
Yeah, it's those two.
Well, I guess I would have to see what Freddie Anderson's numbers have come down to at this point, because he was rocking a 950 before the Montreal series.
Now it's probably like 920 because he allowed quite a few in game one, and then he allowed 2 goals in each of the last 2 games with not a lot of shots on them.
Yeah, so I think that's what hurts his numbers in the Montreal series. That he's not
930. He had a 934 save percentage going into last night's game.
Oh, okay. So
we only had 13 shots, but he gave up 2, so that's not great.
When
so
did
it's probably like in the high
the
920s now.
And that's what I wanted to ask you, Rick. When did the Canadiens become the Flyers?
Thinking like no shit. You're playing this series to a game like us.
No,
the way Montreal is playing this series has been a Rick talking wet dream. Like, my God.
It should be nobody's wet dream. It's just I don't know. I don't know why
I'm watching the shot clock and I'm like, holy fuck, are they worse than the Flyers?
It's not like they're not firing pucks, but man, they can't get anything through.
Oh.
Nothing through is crazy.
So I'm glad you mentioned that, Rick. I just want to throw out some numbers right now.
Yeah.
So the last 2 games, the Carolina Hurricanes have outshot the Montreal Canadiens 64-25.
Yeah.
So you brought up shot attempts. They just can't get anything through. It's funny you bring that up. The last 2 games, shot attempts generated. The Montreal Canadiens have attempted 84 shots. Do you know how many the Carolina Hurricanes have attempted?
No, we're not even close to them. They
161.
Yeah, because they shoot everywhere.
Yeah, but they're a high volume shooting team.
They're a high volume
shot
team.
Yeah.
But this last statistic, and this is a game 3 only statistic, that should just show you how stifling Carolina has been. The Montreal Canadiens last game had 13 shots on net. They had 15 icings. That's insane. The way Carolina has been, and this is what I was saying at the very beginning of the series, it's not a knock on Montreal. They're going to be back. They're a good team. They're a young team. They're not going anywhere in terms of, like, they're going to be in the playoffs for a long time.
Don't give them a eulogy when it's not over yet.
But
it's not over.
This is where I say Carolina is a destined team on a mission this year. Their forecheck has been grinding. Montreal, from playing back-to-back 7-game series, both of them relatively physical, especially the Carolina game. I mean, especially the Tampa series.
What if we get shots? What's Freddie Anderson going to do?
But that's the thing.
This
is what they did to us.
He's nervous. He's anxious about the shots.
You're not getting shots.
Yeah,
that's
but that can change from game to game. So don't say that can't change. If it does, I'm not saying it will 100%, but if we get the shots tomorrow, you know how many times he looked behind him?
Here's the thing.
He is beatable.
I'm not saying he's not.
I don't care what his fucking numbers are.
That is
I don't care what his numbers are. He's beatable, and it shows. If Montreal had 10 or 15 shots a game more, we'd be up 3-0.
I can agree with that. If there is a weak link in this Carolina team, it is probably in net.
Yeah,
you definitely have the advantage there. But this is where I go down to the fatigue factor.
It's not even that we have the advantage. He's beatable. We just haven't gotten shots.
But
if they can figure out how to get fucking shots, they can beat them.
That's the thing. That's Carolina's game.
I get it.
But an aggressive forecheck. Hear me out for a sec, Rick. They play such an aggressive forecheck that they keep you weird down and keep the game in their own end. That Montreal, by the time they handle the puck, they're already set up for another line change. And Carolina just finds a way to run out 4 consistent lines, beating you down.
Yeah.
And that's not putting into perspective that you've played 14 games. They've only played 8. And they had those 12 games
that's a factor.
to pretty much heal themselves up.
This is a big factor.
If this was a series where both of the teams had an even amount of rest, I could probably hear that argument a little
we're winning.
strong. But
that's why we swept them in the regular season, and if we had the rest they had, we're winning the series. We played 7 games.
Say that it'd be more competitive.
We swept them in the regular season. I'm gonna say that. You don't have to. I'm gonna say it. We played 17 games and 7 overtimes. It's the most games any team's played and the most overtimes. So yeah,
here's my argument to that. Carolina's style of wearing you down in that physical forecheck they play is more acclimated for the playoffs. Montreal, I'm not saying their play doesn't work, but it's more based off of speed and skill. Montreal is based their team off of the immense amount of skill that they have.
Is what the counter for that heavy forecheck is. Why? That heavy forecheck has all 5 guys, and Buffalo did this, too deep. And that
and I agree.
Carolina's better at it. Carolina's better at it. But if Montreal can solve that problem, this is what I'm talking about. If they can solve that and use their speed to get deep, then they're in trouble, Carolina.
No
if we
argument.
don't do that,
we're not. Carolina plays an aggressive game where it could be a double-edged sword. But is Montreal
exploit that? If they don't exploit that,
Montreal not too worn down to be able to?
100%. It could be.
Today.
I'm admitting
they
that.
Have just been, they're worn down from the prior series. And
I'm admitting that, but you're going Carolina. But there's a reason why they're doing this against us. Because, we're tired, and it showed yesterday that they were tired. You could see it. There's a lot. So, I'm just saying, if Montreal can put it all together, and it's something Marty said, the coach, if they can put it all together, they will beat this team. But can they? That's the question.
So here's another thing.
I don't know. We'll see tomorrow. I mean,
as great as Dobish has been, he might be due for a wet fart game.
Of course.
Use that in the Boston media. Not saying that is another thing that we could be putting into perspective.
That's why games are played on the fucking ice. It's exactly why. But no, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying you can't write off the Habs because if they manage to put it together the way that they did in game 1, although the reason we know why, but it doesn't mean they can't do that again. If they can do that, we'll see another game like that where we'll beat them that way. But will they? I don't know. But
you've got to take advantage of their over aggressiveness for sure, and you got to finish your opportunities.
And it would be great if we weren't the team wasn't as tired to do that, because that I think they would be able to. I think the reason they're struggling at that is you could see it. They looked tired last night.
Yeah, they played a lot of hockey.
They have played a lot of hockey,
and that's
you know what. You know what? I'll just say one last thing. I said this before the series started. Montreal getting to the Final Four, it's our Stanley Cup right there. So if we go farther than that, it's bonus. But we gotta. I'm happy where they are. If we lose here, the experience these young guys are going to get from this is incredible going forward. And if Montreal manages to land a second line center, we are going to be deadly.
You're looking for Nico
right now.
That's your guy. I bet you they go for Nico Hischier.
Yeah, if we had a second line center of quality right now, we're beating Carolina. But we don't have that, and we wouldn't have gone 7 games both times. It would have been different. But that's something that's a big hole that they weren't able to address, and I believe they'll do that in the offseason.
So with that being said,
Nico Hischier, I don't think it's going to be a guy. I think it's going to be somebody bigger than that.
That's pretty big praise. Hischier, you could argue, is a borderline 1C. Never mind 2C.
How old is Hischier?
25?
26?
No.
26, 27, I think.
Okay, so maybe.
He's young.
2017 draft. That was
I don't think
18. So yeah, you might be. I think he's 27. I think you're right.
I don't think we're starting the next season without that spot filled because we are contenders now.
27.
And in order to carry that on, you better get that guy or you're not going to fulfill that for next year.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to make there's going to be a deal. I don't know.
What about
my final prediction though is
Kapanen? No, come on.
He had a good year.
He had a good year, but it's not the same thing.
I know.
Yeah, but he's on a 2C.
He's not an NHL proven, playoff proven second line center. No. And besides, he's not getting another shot. He cost us game 2 The game-winning goal that he cost that. I mean, that was he didn't get the puck deep. If he gets
And
that
then
puck
Hudson
deep, they
cost
didn't
you
score.
game 3.
And who?
Hudson cost you game 3.
I don't agree with that.
Lane Pizza Hudson with that
I don't
delivery.
agree with that because that what you're talking about, they got out of that. That it might have been near the end, but they got away from that. What cost them, in my opinion, is Slap. Slap was standing right in front of the net, looking at the shooter while Aho was right next to him. Did he push him out of do something? No, I'm going to look at the shooter the whole time.
I only argued Hudson because that's what started the play to begin with. Was that terrible
but they kind of got out of that. I was reading about it. I didn't notice it at the game, but I was reading about it today. To me, it's Slap. His is doing nothing, and not only that, standing in front of the goalie because Dobish saw nothing. He had 2 bodies right in front of him like this, and there was contact.
Clear out the netminder ability better. I can agree with that too.
He's looking at the shooter when there's a guy right there. How are you doing that? You're 6'4". You're bigger than Aho. Anyway, I think that is what cost us the game then.
What's your final series predictions on this, gentlemen?
On the series?
Yeah.
No, it all revolves around tomorrow. If we win tomorrow, it's 7 games, and it's obviously a coin flip in 7 games. If they win tomorrow, we're done.
I think I originally predicted Carolina in 6, so I think I'm just gonna stay with that.
Yeah,
I had Carolina in 5, and I'm sticking with that as well. It's again not a knock on Montreal. I think Carolina's a team.
Oh, that's fair. We could be done in 5. No, it depends on tomorrow. If we win tomorrow, we're not done in 5. But
obviously, if you win tomorrow, it can't be. In 5.
Yeah, obviously. But I'm just saying. So, but it right now it's tomorrow, and they're gonna have to go every game like that. But right now, they lose tomorrow, they're done. Simple as that.
Yeah,
and that's it. I don't think I want to add any more.
All right.
Go
so we got one. We got one other interesting topic. This isn't really a right or wrong answer, but more of a based thing we were talking about in our chat today. Take 2 minutes, give your answer and thought process on this. I had someone bring to my attention last night after that Habs-Canes game ended that they feel like this year's NHL playoffs in the second and third round haven't quite been as physical compared to other years. Now, the first round, I think you can make the argument that the physicality was up. But this year, rounds 2 and 3, maybe not as much. Do you guys agree with that statement? Or do you believe that the physicality is still there just as much this year as prior years?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at us against Carolina. They've out-hit us like insane. Sabre series was very physical. Tampa was crazy. So I don't know. And what I've seen, it's been just as physical as any other year.
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead.
I think it's still pretty physical. But like what I think is the big heavy hitters are gone. Like either they were out in the first round or they just didn't make the playoffs this year. So it's maybe not as much as a point of emphasis as it was like the past couple years.
Mm-hmm.
So and you're not seeing anything super flagrant like these playoffs. Especially with Florida the last couple of years, they're always pulling some kind of bullshit, and it's like oh my god, did you see what fucking Florida just did, or like whoever, and so it's so you're missing that. Tampa went on the first round, I don't know. I think it's just more that I think the teams that are left in these past couple rounds are like teams that are more or less based on speed and skill. Obviously, you have the Carolinas, that are not like that, but Montreal is. Colorado could play both ways. Vegas, technically, Vegas can kind of play both ways too, physical and with skill.
Especially with Torts there now, they can play both ways for sure.
Yeah, but again, was Vegas ever like a big, hard forechecking team? Like, no, they're not. No. They're more skill based than a forechecking team. So. And that again, I don't want to make this into a talking argument, but This is why I don't think Talk is the right coach for us. But then watch this. Fucking Carolina's gonna win the cup, and like, you see.
But the difference is Carolina puts a lot of pucks on net. Talkett fucking just doesn't.
They fire from everywhere, yeah.
And they actually have the right size and skill on the wings to play that fucking system.
We don't.
This is not going to become a Talk It pod, so or else we're going to be here till tomorrow morning.
Talk It pod. All right.
We're recording Flyer on Sunday, guys. Watch out.
So it's fun to bring this conversation up. So we were talking to Cam with Cam in our group chat as well, and he made it. His argument is relatively similar to what you were saying, Eric, and he wanted me to bring this point up. It depends what you determine as physical. Like, is it just hits, or is it puck battles, back pressure, forecheck, all that combined? So I'm thinking about this, and I'm like, so he provided me some interesting statistics. So this year's playoffs, hits per game. This is just part of the argument. Leading team in hits per game right now in this year's playoffs, funny enough, are the Philadelphia Flyers. They put up 39.25 hits per game. Second is Ottawa, 37.9. Third is Boston, 37.86. LA at 37.3. Utah, 37.07. I'll do a few more. Anaheim, 6, 35.42. Edmonton, 7 at 35.09. Carolina, surprising, only 8. 34.41, but that's where we talk about the other things, puck battles, forecheck, just wearing you down with other things like that. Now let's look at last year's numbers. This is relatively interesting. Last year, number one was the Winnipeg Jets with 43.66 hits per game.
And not in the playoffs.
Small drop. This is playoff number.
And they're not in the playoffs this year. So
correct.
They're out.
Number two, another team not in the playoffs, Florida Panthers, 42.99. Number three, team that wasn't last year that we mentioned not too long ago, Ottawa Senators, who had 38 and change this year.
4 games.
42.23 for Ottawa.
Yeah, but they only played 4 games this year.
True. So that had something to do with it potentially. Then fourth is St. Louis, 39.59. Fifth, Carolina, another team this year's playoffs who had more last year compared to this year, 39.22. Sixth, Colorado, 38.44. This year, Colorado is 15th at 26.82. So another thing that's interesting, I brought up 3 teams now. All had more hits last year than this year in this year's playoffs. I do think there's an interesting argument with this that Eric, you and Cameron right to a degree. That part of it is the teams that are in it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the teams that are still in, we've seen less hits. It has felt like more of a skill-based playoffs.
Carolina still.
Well, also, I was just keeping track. 4 of the top 5 teams that you mentioned were all out in the first round.
Yeah.
Yep. So
another
Ottawa, LA, Philly was in the second round. Two of the other ones, and then 2 of the other ones that you mentioned again. So you take out the
way to prorate that.
So the teams that were hitting the most were out in the first round, and the ones that were in the most last year didn't make the playoffs. So
I don't know how you keep.
So it's just interesting. Maybe this year's playoff style has been more adaptive to more of a skill-based game outside of maybe a team like Carolina who plays that physical forecheck style. Like I said, there's no right or wrong answer in this. It's just interesting to look at how this year's playoffs may have been different from last year or even 2 years ago. Listen to 2 years ago. I'm just going to name a few teams off here. First is Tampa. Ready for this? 55.65 hits a game. They only played 5 games, but still.
Yeah,
Two.
against the
Another
Panthers.
team knocked out. Another team knocked out in the first round, the Kings. 49.25. Number 3, the Toronto Maple Leafs. 48.92. Another first round team.
Now, you see, now I don't believe these stats. There's no way Toronto is strong, had enough physicality.
Well, this is just hits.
I'm just joking.
That's the only thing you look at in physicality, but this is just hits perspective.
Yeah, I know. Toronto's their whims.
Here's 4th and 5th. These two teams went a little bit further. Boston played 13 games. They had 47.5 hits a game. 5th was Florida. They won the Cup that year, 42.42. Look at it. The hits from 2 years ago to this year, there are 7 teams from 2 years ago that had more than the number 1 team this year. Now, mind you, Cam mentioned this in the chat. It's an incomplete statistic. There's still games to play. Fair argument. 12 of the 16 teams, though, are a complete statistic. So if you don't use those teams, it's a little different. Looking at the remaining teams left in this year, hold on, let me bring them up. Carolina is 8th. They're still in. Colorado is 15th. They're still in. Montreal is 13th.
There's no consistency in the teams. Every year it's different teams. How you judge this? I mean, I don't know.
It just feels like with those numbers I'm mentioning and the remaining 4 teams in hits per game, all of them are 8th or worse. Carolina's 8th, Vegas is 9th, Montreal's 13th, Colorado's 15th. Incomplete statistic, yes, but we still have enough, data to look at it here. So it makes you think maybe this year's style of playoff hockey has been more acclimated to a speed and skill-based type of game. Now, again, we can't use the statistics of forward check, back check, pay check, quote Nikita Grabenkin. No, but in all seriousness, forward check, back check, puck battles, things like that. We can't use analytics for that. We don't have the numbers in front of us. But at least in the small sample size, it does kind of feel like maybe playoff hockey feels a little different this year. Now, it could have to do with the remaining teams involved for sure. I'm sure that has a big part to do with it. But it does feel a little bit different. That's all.
There's different teams in the playoffs. That's why.
Yeah, like I said, like the teams that hit the most got eliminated in the first round. So,
or aren't there?
Yeah.
At all. Yeah. That's why I don't know. It's not something. It's a feel thing. You can't really use analytics. It's an eye test thing, really.
Mm-hmm.
So there's, and I believe in the eye test, but for this, I don't know. It's too all over the board to figure this out.
Actually, it's funny because I think when the second round had started, I even put out a tweet about something, not exactly this, but something similar, where I'm like, look at the teams that are still left in the playoffs and how many are more skill-based, like rush teams than as opposed to like grind it out, hard forecheck teams. Like,
it also could be that's the direction the league is going.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
I've been saying this for years.
Okay.
And I've been saying this for years. The where the league has been going these past few years, it's becoming more skill based. It's becoming more scoring off the rush. It's like the dump and chase, the grind it out. Like it's harder to win that the cups those ways nowadays. Again, it's my opinion, but people probably we'll look at Florida. I understand, but like I feel like Florida is one of those it's just like the perfect fucking storm. It's but you want to play that style. I'm not saying you can't win playing that style. It's just that you need the exact players to play that style. Yeah. And again, bring it back to the Flyers. Like the Flyers want to play that style, but we don't have the players to do it. Like we have the players to play one certain way, but then we're trying to play a different way, and which doesn't work, So, look, there's different ways to win, and that's the thing with hockey. Also, it's trends. It's all trends. Oh, the trend the past couple of years, it was exactly that. forecheck and big wingers and this and whatever. And now it's like, oh, but now this year, look, Florida missed the playoffs, and now like look what we're talking about now. Oh, well, look, hitting and is not really that big of a deal right now. It's more about speed and skill. So who the fuck knows? At the end of the day, it's like every year is something. It's always something different. You know? So
it's something different.
there's more than one way to win. That's honestly, at the end of the day, that's just the way it is. There's more than one way to win. It's just that you have to have the right players to play the right system. And Carolina has the right players to play their system. Florida had the right players to play their system. Tampa, when they were winning their cups, had the right players to play their system. So
that's what it's called building a hockey team.
Exactly. Like perfect. Like if you would have asked the Tampa Bay Lightning when they were winning their cups, oh no, you're going to be a hard forechecking team. They didn't have no. They weren't going to win their cups playing that way. You know, so
they're a speed and skill based team.
And look, what did Tampa do this? Like, I don't want to take anything away from Montreal. I really don't. Montreal played them very well. Montreal deserved to win that series. Where I thought Tampa lost that series is Tampa thought that they were playing the Florida Panthers and they had to outmuscle the Canadians. That's not like you can't like no. They caught you. Then it's like, okay, you want to try to outmuscle us? We're just gonna be as feisty as you are, but we're gonna fucking beat you off the rush. We're gonna fucking come at you and we're gonna win these games. So and that's what, and then it was too late for Tampa to adjust and they lost the series. So I'm just, you know what, be true to yourself. That's it. Just be true to yourself.
Agreed.
All right, so
that's it.
Fun debate.
we did it. That's a wrap for episode 108. We're calling it.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, brother,
So
this guy stinks.
don't talk about Alex that way.
I'm sorry, I had to press one of them. It was funny.
Oh, you pressed. I don't know why.
That was me.
I was nothing. You can see my
That was
hand.
me. The awkward pause. I had to press something.
Oh, well. All right. So anybody else have any final thoughts? Any final words before we wrap this? No? Okay, we're good.
Nope.
All right. Well, same as usual, everybody. If you're still listening, if you're out there, please help us out to reach 500. We're about 104 or something like that away.
Yep, we're 396, 104 away.
So road to 500. Give us a subscribe. Takes not even 2 seconds, split second even. Just like boop. That's it. Subscribe.
Remember, Eric guaranteed hugs.
Hugs. Like this is a little preview, okay? I'll even put my
warm hug.
I'll put my head on your shoulder, okay?
Put your head on my
shoulder. I love that song. So yeah,
I have no idea why I did that, but I did.
I had Rick. When I said it, I had that song in my head, and then you started singing.
You sent it over to my brain. That's the problem.
Oh fuck. Well, we're only about 15 kilometers away. It happens.
Not bad.
It can make it. It can make it. Yeah. So that's a wrap for us. So for myself, for Alex, for Rick, everybody have a good evening, a good day, a good afternoon, and some good hockey.
And that's it. Oh, that's the ending. Oh,
and that's it.
Ciao, everybody. Go Habs, go. I don't know what we're gonna do. Ciao, everybody.
Good luck.
Promise that you'll catch